now there is a situation, world situation, that can make people think twice. Is the climate change problems. Everybody is beginning to understand that humanity is walking to a precipice. The name of this is going to down in a big
cliff.
Huh?
In a cliff.
Yes, in a cliff. Yes, and we are going like this. Nobody is saying that we must change many types of productions of system. The problem of excess of consumerism. That's also all the problems of what to do with the things we used. What's the name of this? Garbage, yes. The big problem in the world, but also atomic garbage. And the climate, because of the use of fuel, and so on and so on and so on. And we are changing the climate so that perhaps we will have a catastrophe in some years more. Perhaps with this, because also another thing that could make people in the rich country think a little more about the necessity of change would be the solidarity perspective. How people living well here could have more solidarity with the 2/3 of the world that is living in the poverty, and the 1/3 that is not eating to live. This solidarity is very difficult when people are living very well. So, but climate perhaps will make people think twice, and then begin to change relations and change production methods, even personal behaviors. With the question of environment, you have many changes of behaviors you can do to protect the nature, not destroy the nature. So you see, it's a process, a long process of consciousness. We must become more aware of what's happening, what are the issues, and what each one of us can do personally in their own behaviors, or participating of actions, of movements, of initiatives, trying to change many things to do another world.
Speaking about the social forum, last World Social Forum was used to call the Global Action Day. It wasn't a really physical place.
Completely different, yes.
Why is that, and what do you think about it?
Yes, it was. We had, because social forums are not organized by a group that knows everything and has all the money to do this. No, it comes from organizations from society. It must come. When do not come, does not function. So, for instance, when we proposed, the International Council of the Forum, that's not a board of directors. International Council tries, we have now more or less 130 international organizations in it, and what we do there is to think how this tool, because the World Social Forum is a tool for the enlargement of the struggles, how this tool can work better, how we can do a better tool. That's our preoccupation. That's why we decided the International Council to propose to the Indians to do there. But then we took contact with the Indian organizations, civil society organizations, asking them if they were disposed to do it. That's always this type of organization. So your question, I lost a little bit. Your question
about the Global Action Day.
Yes, Global Day of Action. Then it's not easy to do this forum every year. We did in 2005 in Brazil. We had decided to do 2006 in Africa. Then the African organization said, no, we are not able to do in 2006. We must do in 2007. Good. What we do in 2006, we discussed in the National Council, and the people said perhaps some forums at the same time. So we did a polycentric in 2006 in Caracas, Karachi, and Bamako. In 2008, we had the same situation. Where to do? Who could be prepared to do it? Then we decided, why not to try another type of organization? Asking people to do everywhere where they are an activity of discussion, proposing, and any type of activity, but having in one day, that was 26 January, everybody goes to the streets or goes to the press or goes to or show that they exist and they are trying to solve this type or this type of problem. That was a global day of action. And then we simply invited people to do this. We did not organize from above, you do this and you do this. No, as a network system, people could do if they were convinced that it was necessary to do. And we had a big surprise also, because we had more than 800 activities in more than 90 countries. It was a very good experience, because with this, it was possible to go much more expansion than with the one forum in one place. That's why we are thinking about 2009 to do a combination of these two strategies. We have one forum, but we will ask it to people from all over the world to do at the same dates